Now, were you one of the 17 million people watching the Lionesses win the Euros this summer? Beth Mead won the Golden Boot, meaning she scored the most goals overall. She was also awarded Player of the Tournament, and last month she was runner-up in the Ballon d'Or, which decides the best player in the world. Well, Beth, who plays for Arsenal in the Women's Super League, has a new book out called Lioness. Emma asked her how she's been adjusting to life since England won.
Walking down the street has not been the same as it used to be. Getting a little bit more attention. Tried to go on holiday. A lot of people knew me in Greece, and that was weird for me. But yeah, it's been amazing. I mean, I kind of love that side of the game and interacting with fans and people in general. But yeah, it was a little bit of adapting to get used to that kind of lifestyle.
In your book, you go back to the early years, and many girls now looking to follow in your footsteps. And their parents also, some of them have been in touch this morning to thank you and your teammates for the inspiration. How did you get into football?
My mum actually helped me get into football. I was quite an active child, had a lot of energy and loved sport in general. My mum took me to a Saturday morning session in our local village and kind of was like, get rid of a bit of energy. And the guy who was obviously with all the boys at the time, and he was kind of like, oh, it's quite rough, will she be okay? My mum's like, just throw her in, she'll be fine. Came back an hour later and he was kind of like, she can play football and she's rougher than most of the boys. So it was something that when I played, I walked on the pitch and everything else just disappeared. I love doing what I do, and credit to my mum and obviously my dad and things. Like, they supported me so well in doing what I do and getting to me where I am today.
And I know that people around you have been very important, especially when you're away from home for long periods. And very much in people's minds will be Serena Wiegman, the England coach. What did she do for you, and how did that relationship work?
She's honestly got an aura around her that just makes you feel comfortable and calm, and she did that throughout the full tournament with us, with such a pressure moments that we were still so calm with her. And
I felt that looking at her on TV. I just wanted to know her. She looked great.
The highest pressure moments, since she's so chill with her arms crossed or something. It was honestly incredible. She needs to teach us.
She's not pacing in a waistcoat.
No, literally no Gareth Southgate at all.
And the relationships off the pitch are also very important. You talk very openly in the book about your relationship with fellow Arsenal player Vivianne Miedema and Viv, and right, I would love to help bridge the gap between men and women's football when it comes to the perception and acceptance of homosexuality. Why do you think it's so different for men and women in the game?
We've kind of made it the norm from day one. We haven't felt the need to come out and give a statement of who we're with and what we're doing. We've just classed it as normal life. If I want to put a picture on my Instagram with Viv, I do, but I don't caption it, this is my girlfriend, this is what we're doing, blah blah blah. Whereas obviously in the men's game, they kind of feel or have to make a statement of that situation, and for me it's been a culture. That culture needs to shift. Obviously we're in the 21st century, and at the end of the day you fall in love with who you fall in love with. It doesn't matter of who they are, and for me I think that's the kind of perception that we need to get across to that. Is it a generation thing? Is it a culture thing in the game? But I would love to help try and bridge that gap to make it then just the norm.
Well, it's nice because when you went to the Ballon d'Or award ceremony earlier this month, a caption of a photo of both of you, you were referred to as her guest, despite coming as runner-up.
Yeah, that was a fun one. We joke about it. Obviously, she posted on social media, but yeah, I come runner-up in the Ballon d'Or and got called Viv's guest, so we made a good laugh about
It's
that
good
one.
to keep your feet on the ground, isn't it?
Humbled me instantly.
What's it like playing with your partner, honestly?
Yeah, it's interesting sometimes. I think you get the balance of understanding each other's lifestyle. You know what you're going through, you know what your daily schedule looks like, how your body physically feels, how mentally it can be challenging. But yeah, it's hard to sometimes get home and switch off if one of you are a little bit annoyed about a session or a game, or say I've played well and she didn't, and I'm in a high and she's low, then that's sometimes difficult. So it's even...
You're not doing like a victory lap around them?
Oh yeah, around the room. She's sat on the sofa and I'm whizzing round. God, she'd kill me, I think.
Listen, you're just Viv's guest.
Well,
right?
Exactly. I need to sit down and just do as I'm told.
Remember that position. You know, a serious point that is in people's minds, though, I did want to ask you about, which is the Men's World Cup being held in Qatar, a country where homosexuality can be punishable by death. That's coming up very shortly. Mm-hmm. It's been criticised by LGBT groups. For instance, on the politics side, the Labour leader Sir Keir Starmer said he won't be attending due to the country's record on human rights. Do you think it should be going ahead?
For me, from the minute it was announced, I thought, I mean, it's not the best idea. I think, obviously, they're, the way they think and how they go is complete opposite to what I believe and respect. And although I'm cheering for the boys who are going to play football there, I still don't think it's the right place. But unfortunately, money talks, and the situation even of the stadiums being built and the amount of people that have passed because of that, it's not an ideal situation. It's not something that I will be backing or promoting at all. But unfortunately, it is going ahead. Yeah, just disappointing, I guess, in that sense of there's no respect on a lot of levels, even though it's a game of football.
Well, in terms of politics, but closer to home, after you were crowned champions this summer, each of the Lionesses penned an open letter to Liz Truss and Rishi Sunak during the party leadership race, demanding that football was made compulsory part of girls' PE for at least 2 hours per week. Where are we up to with that? Because both of them have had a stab at being Prime Minister now. We've got Rishi in, of course.
Yes, for us, I think it wasn't a lot to demand. 2 hours of PE per week shouldn't be, but we did have a meeting with Liz Truss. Obviously, that's maybe been thrown back a little bit since obviously Rishi's come in, but hopefully we can have conversations with him and the Education Secretary and kind of figure something out. But big credit to Lotte Wubben-Moy, who's my Arsenal teammate, who's kind of pushing behind the scenes, and we're kind of supporting her with that. But we're a little bit in between things at the moment, so we haven't got that definitive answer.
The brilliant Beth Mead speaking to Emma there.